Here's a quick tip if you get flustered and how to come back to your own personal power. So, quick story, I was at a conference where I had the opportunity to receive one-on-one support from a very high-level mentor. It was a conference event and it was very noisy and busy, and I had stepped out of the room at the break to check on a family member who was in the hospital, who was very close to me. I didn't take a moment to anchor back in after I hung up the call and got the status report. And we had been tasked to do an exercise and to take a break. And so I took the break. I didn't do the exercise. I figured I would just come back into it and then figure it out when I got there. Well, what happened is I walked back into the room, and I can feel my face flushing right now with this memory. I walked back into the room. And then I walked back into the group that I was assigned to, and then they were doing these round robins about what their vision was and how they were expressing it in a particular marketing message way, right? And so I was listening, and apparently they had assigned people before I had stepped back into the circle numbers, and so it was going in a sequence. I had been assigned a number and was not aware of it. So here I am, I step back in, I'm attempting to ground myself in a social setting instead of grounding myself a moment before I went back into the room when I was alone. And I get called on, and I don't even remember what the assignment is because I'm so nervous. And then on top of that, he's staring at me intensely. This well-known digital mentor for 6, 7, and 8-figure digital CEOs. And here I am just like a deer in the headlights, like, yeah, didn't do the assignment. And then so I'm flustered and I'm trying to like, okay, I'll just flow with it. It'll just happen. It's just, I'll just, just take a moment. And they're just them staring at me so intently, especially him. And and then in the moment I'm shaming myself, like, what a wasted opportunity. I just totally flubbed this up. All this to say, I mean, there are moments. I've been a very powerful businesswoman in the boardroom. I have had just very expansive contracts with small, medium, and large size companies. I've worked with other powerhouse women, and so I definitely know how to ground in on my personal power. It's just in the moment, I didn't take a moment to ground back into myself before walking into this situation. And that was really a missing key element for me, not only because I missed the opportunity to be mentored by this person, but also I missed the opportunity for a little self-love and awareness of what I needed. And then just to forgive myself in the moment that I wasn't in my personal power in that moment. Don't we all have moments like this as a CEO? I know that my clients do, especially as highly aware, conscious, sensitive, driven women who are purpose-driven and heart-centered. We have all the feels going with us, and really we have the ability to just sense into more than our own energy. And so coming back into that circle, not disconnecting from that very serious phone call I had regarding a medical update, and then not really even feeling in my body. I was just so zinging from that moment, and then rushing back into the room. So there was that compilation of that frantic hustle energy, right? Haven't we all just tried to ride the wave of the frantic hustle energy thinking this will carry us through? Because it has in the past. And so a better way to do this is to say, take a moment to ground and just put your hand on your heart and silently say to yourself, I call my power back to me now. I release what is not mine, and I call my power back to me now. Now, in that moment where I was not in that place of power, I could have taken a moment to do that first, which would have significantly helped me. And then the second thing I could have done was said to the group and the mentor, hey, I'm a little late. I was dealing with an update from a medical emergency. I'm willing to I'll take a pass for my role in the hot seat right now because I just am not prepared. And just been honest with them about, look, this is what's happening. but instead I was like, oh, I'm potentially missing a moment here, a moment I've been waiting for the whole conference. And in addition to that, I was feeling like all these eyes are looking at me, and here I am, this powerful businesswoman and gifted CEO, and in this moment, I'm tanking it, falling flat on my face in front of my fellow peers and mentor. And, I can laugh about it now, but at the time, I just remember it took me at least the day to get over that. And then people kept coming up to me afterwards, like, are you okay? Instead of just being honest and saying, hey, I just needed a minute. But my mind was racing. I was trying to get with the flow. But, when you're not in alignment in the moment, that's what happens. And it just kind of keeps chugging along as if you're working on only 3 wheels when you need 4 to get it going, right? So that's my advice for you today. Just really, it is really simple to step back in your power, but also when there's all this mind chatter about what should be happening and how you should be showing up, and I got to get with the plan and all, right, that just starts that momentum of not being kind to yourself and of trying to catch up or trying to just like push and force. That's when you take the moment and use that exercise and put your hand on your heart and say, I call my power back to me now. I release what is not mine. I call my power back to me now. Because if I had released what was not mine, I would have been able to let go of that emotional charge that I had from being on that call with the medical update, right?